I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'll live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'll live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough
you never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save
we're not as tough.
Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were have-nots, who are not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were have-nots, who are not as tough as me.
How's everybody doing? Let's get the show on the road. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Good, good. We see we got a healthy amount of people here. We got a Pokemon fan in in the chat. I should be a DJ here, Dusan says. Yes, you should. We need a DJ. Apply within. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Good. So we got an action-packed live today. And let's get her started, right? Let's get her started. So first we go with the rules, baby. Rules. So we do have a couple mods up in here right now. We always have to respect the stream rules. Respect the streamer and the guests. Any rude comments towards myself or any live guest will get the boot. It's my house. Gotta go. Moderation, my moderators. Basically, it's pretty simple, straightforward, right? That first rule, you know what to do. Basically, everybody else in the chat, just respect each other. If it does go out of hand, right, just let it go. If it's just getting to a really bad place, then moderators, time out both parties, several parties. Do what you got to do. But honestly, right, just keep it clean. The chat etiquette, all right, we encourage respectful communication, but we know that might not always be it, but we do discourage a few things. Questions. You can hit me up with any questions if you want. I will always reserve a time for questions and answers during all lives. So I'm hoping to do a little bit more of these, but we'll see what we can do. But I like to just point out like the stream rules a little bit before we get started. Respect each other, right? No racism, homophobia, or sexism. I'm not going to tolerate that at all. That's like probably the worst thing to do. So just respect each other. And enjoy. We come here to learn new things, myself included. So we come here to learn things about fragrances. You may not know about certain things, and we go back and forth. Maybe you will recommend me a brand, a fragrance, all that. But obviously, let's have some fun. First and foremost, scent of the day. So we do have a good, healthy 70 people in the chat right now. Thank you so much, first and foremost. But there's my scent of the day. Look at that beauty. Look at her. She's glistening. From Guerlain. Miri Delir, the now discontinued Mirin Delir. I do have my bottle right here. Let's show the chat in its beauty. It does have, of course, a little bit of marks here, but the old school bottles of Guerlain Miri Delir, and not one of my favorites. Not top 3, not top 5, but it would make definitely a L'Alimentaire top 10. And I guess we could change this ticker, this banner. The drink is not being stirred. The drink is right here. We are doing an old Canadian classic here, Clamato Caesar. It's the French side too. Haricot Marani. Basically, pickled bean. So everybody's doing, hopefully you're all doing well. Your scent of the day. So Miri Delir, of course, mine. As you can see, it's a myrrh-based fragrance, but it has a lot more going. Let's actually, you know what? It's scent of the day, so I can always put it back on. So yeah, this one is it's got that myrrh, but it also has that iris, that buttery iris that you know from L'Alimentaire and Guerlain. Incense, and it does, of course, have some spicy facets, as you can tell. The main accords are spicy, fruity, floral. I don't know. I think floral because of course, the iris, but I think it's a lot of that. So, thank you for another live show. You know what, Eric, I like doing these. I've been kind of staying away from them once in a while, but it's nice to kind of get back. So that there's our Pokemon lover there. Thoughts on my pupil, Joy Amin. I'm gonna crack this thing open. Don't mind me. My thoughts on Joy. He's doing his thing, right? And he's been doing it for a long time. He's doing great things. Congrats to him for hitting 100K. Well deserved. A man that puts in the time, the effort. Does everything right. Honestly, I really like what Joy does. Obviously, he doesn't have all the charisma and all the editing and all that. And you know what? You don't need all that. You don't need all that. So Joy is basically that example now of someone that can just do it the old school way, right? Like the way that my generation did was just a camera. So we have RXL in the house. What's going on, brother? You are not, but you can crack open your Pokemon cards if you want. We will let you do that. So set of the nights here. Sandro's got Pasha de Quartier Parfum. Excellent choice. Aroma de Salazar, 1872. We got Aramis in the house. Havana. I hear great things about that one. Passion by Soul of Mine. I've never actually heard of that. Great name, though. Great name. Welcome, full bottle worthy. Dwayne, Card of the Night. Oh, yeah. The hollow, thick stamp Mewtwo. Good card of the night, I think. Probably worth a lot. Joy's always complimenting you. Well, he's a good friend, right? He was somebody that went through some hardship with the fragrance community and the whole fragrance thing. He didn't really know where to go. And, you know, I think he really, you know, I reached out to him. I gave him actually a call, not a cheap phone call either. But you know, we chatted for hours. The guy was kind of going through a lot of things. So I think he really appreciated just to kind of just talk to somebody. And somebody that kind of knows, you know, this whole spectrum, this whole social media thing. So, you know, he was ready to throw everything out, like just kind of, that's it. You just gotta pave your way, I guess. And sometimes it's nice to just get stuff off your chest at the same time. So we got Arabi Keith. What's going on? There's a long time Robezoid subscriber. Thoughts on Frag Apprentice? I forgot about him, but some of his vids are funny. Yeah, Frag Apprentice. He's great. I hear he's coming back. So it's nice. There's Karen. I don't think anyone actually knows how to play Pokemon with the cards. You know what? I seen cards and I thought it was just like the number at the top, and I thought the highest number would be the one that would trump the smaller numbers, and then I would win your Pokemon. That's the way I played it, honestly. Probably wrong. Russian tea. That's a good one. That's a really good one. So, oh man, there's a lot of like, is this just me or there's a lot of Pasha out here? Do I need to get some Pasha fragrances on the channel a little bit more? I like Jigglypuff. It's going to be a Pokemon stream. Love it. Love it. Nice ink note and mortal skin. Definitely. Yeah. So, yeah. It is what it is. He was also like, he's always been really nice to me. He's always been somebody that we throw ideas at each other, things like that. We discuss fragrances all the time. And when one of my friends is kind of down and out, they reach out to you. It's kind of like, right. You got to be there as a friend. So yeah. So here we go. Let's move on to the first thing that I wanted to talk about. So we all talked about our scent of the night, scent of the day. Miri Delir, absolutely gorgeous. That fragrance, I highly recommend. If you're a fan of La Matière, you must really have to smell that one. So hopefully everybody has some good summer plans coming in. You know, summer is right around the corner. We still have snow on the ground actually here in Canada, where I'm at. Watching a lot of hockey lately. The playoffs are in. I don't know if there's any hockey fans out there. Planning to go see the Blue Jays in Toronto in the summer as well. So a couple trips. But yeah, the weather again, still got snow on the ground here. I'm kind of just like, okay, that's enough. But we're getting more and more rain now. So I wanted to hit a few topics today. The first one would be, I just want to talk a little bit about frags, things like that, and don't hesitate to talk a little bit about it. The first piece of news that I stumbled upon just recently is Kendrick Lamar just named Chanel's new brand ambassador. Whoa. So, and again, chat, you guys can talk about this as you wish, but Kendrick Lamar just signed on by Chanel, which I honestly, he's worked with them before. He's worked with them for a few years actually already, but finally got signed with them. And it's eyewear only. As you can see, he's wearing the sunglasses, but could we see Kendrick Lamar in a Bleu de Chanel ad at some point? I don't know how I feel about this. I definitely don't think, and this is like brand new, 22nd of April here. I don't think of Kendrick Lamar when I'm thinking about Chanel. But yeah, he probably is a big Pokemon player. Yeah, we should ask him. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar being signed on by Chanel was really interesting to see this morning. In regards to fragrance news. The next piece of news that I saw was also Chanel is to keep it on with Chanel is to open a beauty activation at the Grove in LA. So they're going to have a pop-up shop, as you can see right there. So anybody that's in the chat here, with interested in Chance and their newest release, Eau Splendide. They do have a pop-up there. And, I just wanted to see what's in there because it doesn't look very big. And they do have, of course, that oversized bottle for pictures for influencers, things like that. And they do have a listening station for a song created for the campaign. They can take part of a Chance Maze activity, things like that. So if you are in LA and you know about the Grove, I've been there. It's a cool mall. It's an outdoor mall. It's huge. And they are open, not yet, 8 days from now, April 30th until May 18th. So another Chanel news is, they're doing, they're advertising a little bit more. I'd like to see more Chanel's in the men's aisle, to be quite honest, but they are pumping out those women's fragrances more and more. And the man is in the house. What's going on, brother? Happy to have you in here. You're busy working. Hey, aren't we all? Aren't we all? So it's nice to see. A new brand ambassador for Chanel means a new men's fragrance, right? No, it's sunglasses only for now, his contract. I don't think we're going to be seeing him with fragrances, not just yet. I don't think Kendrick, I haven't seen anything Kendrick fragrance-wise yet, but you never know. We need to have you on a live at some point. So keep in touch. I'd like to have a lot more guests on the lives as well. Next piece of news, which was very interesting to me. I didn't even know this actually happened. But Keurig Beauty named the new CEO at Creed. So Creed's going to get a new CEO. May 6th, she is going to start her new job. And that is, of course, beauty executive Natalie Berger Duquesne. And she used to be at Estee Lauder. So she is succeeding Sarah Rotherham, who left Keurig in October 2024. Now, Berger has 25 years of experience. She started at Goutal, if you didn't know. So Natalie does have a lot of experience, of course. Started at Goutal when it was under, well, it still is, under the Louis Vuitton umbrella. So she started there. She joined L'Oreal in 2005, where she worked a bit on Lancôme, and she was the managing director at Armani. Then in 2019, she moved on to Estee Lauder as managing director of Tom Ford and by Kilian. So those are pretty big names, especially towards the end there, being the managing director of Tom Ford and by Kilian, both of them, two big brands. So it's going to be interesting to see what a new CEO at Creed, they really are trying to push their portfolio here, Keurig. Obviously, they spent a lot of money, so they want to get their money back. I don't know if she is maybe the mastermind with all these newer there's tons of Creeds, like since their last CEO left, which was October of 2024, right? And now, obviously, she's probably been groomed already. So we will see. We will see what happens with Creed. They are going mostly right now, the way I'm feeling, Creed and their new stuff that I've smelled from late 2024, early 2025, it seems like they're going the PDM route. So maybe she'll turn that around, right? Her last stop was Tom Ford and by Kilian, which gives me some hope for Creed. Definitely when I'm thinking Creed, I'm not thinking Tom Ford or by Kilian, but it might be a good thing because she may embrace the past of these brands, right? As the managing director. So you never know with that kind of news. Next, this one was interesting. This was really interesting. I read this small portion here of what TikTok sales are going through, like this TikTok shop. Now, we don't have TikTok shop here in Canada, US mostly. And I saw that some brands are rising because of TikTok shop. Most of them are things that I don't review or talk about. So brands like Latafa, Armoff, and all that, and Paris Corner, Rasasi, those are all brands that are doing well at the TikTok shop. Now, I saw some sales in this article, and I know these are like brands that are just like, and I've heard a lot of stuff about these brands, right? So Latafa in February of 2025 ranked in number one on TikTok Shop, 4.3 million. February. It's not even a full 30-day calendar month. 4.3 million. Armoff came in at second with 1.1 million in sales in a month. The top seller for Latafa at that month was Assad, which I don't know about. It's roughly around $30 a bottle, I guess. Holy crap. Now, I know Latafa because they reached out to me. They offer they've offered influencers the most. You're looking at tens of thousands of dollars for brand deals if they think that you're valuable enough. They will give you free trips, free hotel, free everything for being an influencer on TikTok. So it's kind of crazy that things like that, just TikTok, how much those sales are. That's crazy. All right, so we're getting a lot of people talking here. Sorry in the chat. I'm just running through it, so keep doing your thing. I'm sure moderators are doing their thing. Next piece of news, and then we're done with the news, is Goutal. Goutal has been purchased by Interparfums. So Amore Pacifique decided to sell the brand. So Goutal has been purchased. Interparfum bought the brand from Amore Pacific in Europe. Interparfums has a pretty good, I wouldn't say pretty good, but they do have a solid footprint in fragrances. What I saw is that Interparfums not only has bought Goutal now, they extended their fragrance partnership with Coach for 5 years. So they just signed a contract with Coach so they can do, they've been doing Coach's fragrances. So that one is for another 5 years. And last year they signed a mega big contract with Lacoste, and they got a 15-year perfume deal with them. So Interparfum owns Boucheron, Coach, Jimmy Choo, basically your bargain bin fragrances. They own that whole bargain bin. Jimmy Choo, Karl Lagerfeld, Lacoste, Lanvin, Montblanc, Rocha, Van Cleef & Arpels, which is more of a higher end line. Van Cleef is. So yeah, that's kind of crazy that Goutal. I love Goutal fragrances, very much underrated in our fragrance game. So Goutal, I'm looking forward to seeing what they will do, but looking at what they have in their portfolio, I don't know what they're going to do. Now, Boucheron does great privé fragrances. They have a pretty good lineup. I do see, of course, Van Cleef & Arpels, which makes quality fragrances as well. So we will see. A lot of fragrance brands are getting passed around like a hot pocket these years. So it's kind of crazy just to see that. Goutal deserves better. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel, sometimes like these brands, these homegrown brands, especially like a Goutal, Creed, things like that, I prefer them as just little brands. That's how I liked it. More like banger bin. How are you? Can I do a video of Xerjoff Rose Gold and Amber Gold? I could definitely get samples of those. They're already on my sample list. So I don't have the samples. I got a lot of samples to look through, but yeah, I can definitely do that. It's just there's a lot on my docket right now. One thing I did want to talk about, and I just hold on a sec. And we're just going to go back to the stream here, but I am going to put in my Discord. So yeah, follow us on Discord. 115 people in the chat. thank you so much. You know, anybody on this platform, you're nobody without the people that come and watch you. I feel blessed that I have people, there's obviously trolls and stuff like that, people trying to troll me and stuff. That's fine. But there's people out here that really do support me. I thank you to all of you that do that. I feel honored when someone tells me like, I bought this because of you. I definitely never recommend to blind buy. I always recommend to sample. Your favorite fragrance reviewers, our noses are not all the same. Don't trust the compliment factor. Don't trust the longevity and projection. Always trust your own nose. But at the same time, all of us are all in our different side of our journey. Some people are just starting. I used to be one of those. I'm not any better than any of you with what I have back here. This is not, a flex that means that I'm better than you. The more bottles doesn't mean you have more knowledge. There's like thousands, like there's probably last year, I think there was like 6,000 fragrances released. No one's ever going to smell that many. But I really do appreciate everybody here in the chat. Let's get to, and yes, definitely go on the Discord. Discord, I'm just building it right now. And we have about as many people in our Discord than we have right now in our chat. And it's basically kind of like this, except there's no video of me. We can bounce ideas, and I'm building it as best as I can. I'm definitely not a Discord kind of guy, but a lot of people are enjoying themselves there. And I'm adding my own thing to it. And I really appreciate everybody that's in my Discord. Thank you so much for everybody that supports me on there too. And it just seems like, I got that Instagram, I got this. It's this is like a second job that doesn't pay me. It actually drains my wallet. Great question, Keith. I can definitely answer. It's mostly, honestly, the purchase was more for the couture and the brand, the recognition, so they can get rid of competition, basically, and it makes them much bigger. Right, your competition in Italy is Armani. That's the premier brand. I don't mean fragrances, I mean everything. It's always been Armani. So Prada is been up there. Leapfrogging Versace. Versace's actually been, Donatella stepped down. And they really aren't doing the sales as they used to. And I'm not talking about fragrances. Fragrances is nothing to them. I mean, they're couture brands. But now with Prada eating them up, it does nothing for the fragrance brands at all, because Prada sells their fragrance line basically to is it L'Oreal? I believe it's L'Oreal that owns the fragrance brand for Prada. So they distribute and make their fragrances. So they just sell. They just get like a big chunk of money. They sign a contract for however years, and they sell their stuff. Same thing with Versace. Versace just signed a contract with 3 years ago, I think, with Interparfums, something like that, for 15 years. So they still have like a dozen years on that contract. So it'll mean nothing. Obviously 12 years from now, Prada has their name back in the perfume game and the Versace name. And they can either build it in-house, which they aren't doing with their own brands. So I'm assuming that's not going to happen. Or they're just going to sell it or they'll bring it to L'Oreal with their Prada lineup. So that could happen, but I don't think it's not drastic. It's more couture side of things that's going to happen here. Prada has a new frag coming out. I don't think I saw that. That's interesting. Mitch, let us know. Papillon is brilliant. I need to sniff that brand. I really do. And that's where that comes from. Yeah. No, I haven't tried neither. So yeah, I gotta try those out. Definitely do. Yeah. So that's it for the news side of things. Now I did want to talk about, Here we are. And join our Discord. Please do. Absolutely love the more. And it's open to anybody. Obviously, if you're going to be a dink, then yeah, you're going to get kicked. But other than that, if you're adding any value to the Discord or you're just, checking things out, please join us. Not a huge thing, but it's nice to just discuss fragrances with people. So moving on to a new segment. I like to do these on lives is talk about some new releases, some new releases. I do some in the the portion of my channel where I can type stuff in and I kind of do a poll for new releases. So I just noticed that Dior has a new fragrance, so I'm just going to remove that and remove it and present the newest. Let's go. Mark, you're slow. What's going on? There it is. So let's put this here. And Christian Dior has just released. Francis has been busy. So Dior has a new release that just got announced. Like I just got the text today. Rose Star. So Rose Star is coming out, a brand new release in their Privé line. I have no notes. My rep did not give me anything at all. Obviously the nose is their in-house perfumier, Francis Gay. It's obviously going to be a rose-based fragrance. It's not their first. It's definitely not their second or their third. So there's a lot of rose-based fragrances in the Privé line. It's kind of like them doing a lot of ouds out there. But you are going to see this in that portion of my YouTube channel later on, where you're going to see me talk about the notes and things like that and kind of do a poll if you're interested or not. Rose Star. Yeah, it's going to set us back at grand. Hey man, I'm calling it now. I'll put my name on it. There's going to be several brands that are going to have fragrances in like their Privé lines are going to hit close to $1,000 a bottle. I'm talking Tom Ford. I'm talking Louis Vuitton. I'm talking about Christian Dior, Chanel. Some of them have a lot to climb, but these brands are basically yearly are amping up the pricing because the designer brands are catching up to them. Like when a designer fragrance, if I go to a shop here in Canada, a designer big bottle fragrance right now on, like the big names, like the Jean-Paul, like the stuff that's popular, Jean-Paul Gaultier, which aren't very good. You're looking at around $200 and some dollars plus with tax, where a Tom Ford private blend was that much back in the day when I first started. Now I'm showing maybe my age, but Rose Star is going to be the new one. Do I prefer the regular Tom Ford Tobacco Oud? Both very solid. I own them both. I'm very blessed to own them both, especially the intense version. That one was hard to find, but I would rank them both the same. I don't think more of one or the other. Yeah, I'm just learning. I am just learning. It's not very hard, but it's kind of like I don't have any moderators. I don't have, I'm just starting to do things. My Facebook group's huge, but Discord's kind of small, which I kind of like. I like the small group, like the tight-knit group kind of thing. I'm a big fan of that. I've always said on my channel that I was more comfortable with 50 subscribers than 50,000. Just because it was more like I recognized the faces and it was really always the same names, which is always nice. So let's see what else we got for the next one. I'm just going to clean things up over here. Just a second. Just going to remove some things here. And then the next new release I wanted to talk to you guys about, because it's brand spanking new, is from a brand that not too many fragrance reviewers talk about. And it's a different company. Now, the different company started with Jean-Claude Delena, owner / perfumier. If you take a look at the resume of, if you like Hermes fragrances, start with the early different company fragrances. Elena was like awesome there. And then he moved to Hermes, of course. And then his daughter Céline actually took over. So the different company has a new perfume called Love is Coming, Chapter 2. I just plucked this from Parfumo. The nose is Mathieu Nardin. Yeah, this again just came across my desk the past couple days. Just wanted to kind of share with you a couple new releases here on the live. I do look like Wade Boggs in that cap. Okay. But the pyramid looks really, really interesting. So we got bell pepper, blackcurrant, pimento, tomato. Like that top note is kind of crazy. Now, obviously, we got amberwood in the back end, so we'll see what that kind of goes. But I really like what this note breakdown looks like. And okay, so thanks, Keith. I didn't know about that. I have to. I'm guessing, is that the Privé line? I'm assuming it is, because I'm assuming based on the success of women's frags. You should also cut your Facebook group down to only those that add value. It's a great philosophy. Yeah. And it's honestly the Facebook group, I have zero time with it. I have several mods that have been there for years that know this Facebook thing. I can't handle it. I'm just, people like always DM me on the thing, like I got scammed, I did this, and I'm like, oh my God, like I try and like, I want to help you, but this is not full-time gig for me. This is not, this is not even a second job for me. So between the YouTube channel, the Instagram, the TikTok stuff, now I added Discord for some reason. It's a lot of time. Once I come home, I own a couple businesses, so it's at that point that I'm like, you own a business, you're 24/7, right? On your phone. Some days are busy, some days are not. So, I'm doing videos late at night, editing late at night. It's all my hard work. I'm not asking for any give me anything. I'm not. But I love this. It's a passion of mine. So Love is Coming Chapter 2, different company. It is a brand that I really, really, really recommend. It's not that I cannot. It's that I don't want to. My private life is my private life. This is a hobby. That's all it is. And no disrespect to any of you. You don't need to know what my job is. You don't need to know about my family. You don't need to know, I'll share what I share. You don't need to know what kind of car I drive, which city I'm in. That's a little too much. But yeah, no, it's definitely not a 9-to-5. It never was a 9-to-5. I did manage a lot back in the day. But yeah, now it's more business minded, which is awesome. My time is available to me. You got really long days and you got some weekends. That's why I'm very sporadic with my time and my videos, is because I'm not going to kill myself by going, I had a long day at work. We'll say I had a lot of things that I had to handle. I'm not going to be like, I have to shoot a video today. No, I have no sponsorships. I have nobody telling me I have to do something. Does it hurt the channel? Absolutely. But my goal for this channel was to help, to promote stuff in regards to what I love and what I don't like. I love this hobby. Like I test, like you should see my sample packs, things like that. I love to discover. That was the whole point of it, is to share. And that is still the goal. So yeah. Yes, Karen, it's probably a red Ferrari. I have different colors though, not just red. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, the channel is monetized. I didn't monetize it for like 7-8 years, just to prove a point that I'm not here for money. And I didn't need it. I don't need it. My 9-to-5 is fine. Like this is a room in my basement. Like this used to be the house that I bought. This is their workout room. I have a workout room. Yes, so I probably need a workout room. No, I have one. The smaller room's the workout room, and maybe my priorities are wrong. but this big room here for my fragrance, yeah, the money that I get, I put in back into the channel. So if I get like $300 from Google 1 month, I buy $300 worth of samples. That's how it works. That's why sampling samples. That's why I have so many samples. I might buy a bottle once, twice, but that, I have my own internal budget for fragrances in regards to buying bottles. I'm very regimented about that. And, I'll find a deal. I'm patient. It's not like I need to be in a hurry to buy anything. I got tons of things that I'm sniffing that I own. So yeah, Canadian privacy. Yes, I'm from Canada. That's all you need to know. Yeah, I moved. Was it 3 years now? It might have been 4. I moved from one end of town to the other end of town. But it was a nightmare. I moved all this stuff, and I bought all these shelves. I was like, it's about time to buy some shelves too. So yeah, it was fun because the old house that I sold was much smaller than this. So it was almost like I put in the flooring that you see down here, all the wood. I put that down. It was all carpet in this house. I had a blast actually building this fragrance room, painted it myself, all that stuff. But yeah, it was putting, I own every box of every fragrance, the ones that I mostly have all presentations. So yeah. So did the new Baby Cat and Tuxedo bourbons replace the OGs? Absolutely, 100%, the exact same thing. Don't believe anybody that says it's a new release. It's not. They decided to just make their bottles a new bottle look. That is it. Tuxedo and Baby Cat has not been touched. Moving on, I just want to kind of go to another new release because we're looking at the same file there beside me, but I appreciate all the questions and things like that. Don't mind. So this one's kind of blurry because I did not get this from Louis Vuitton. I do not have a Louis Vuitton rep. I'm not a Louis Vuitton guy. So what I get is what I get. So I heard that they have a new fragrance coming out. This was actually just released or announced yesterday, I think. So all the LVs, the Facebook groups and the bros out there, they're probably not going to buy this because it says like a woman, first of all. But it is a Pharrell Williams collaboration, and you could see the little caps. They look like different. I don't know if they're rubberized. They look like they are. But this is like the first look of this line or this new fragrance. No idea anything about this. Again, I don't have a Louis Vuitton rep. I'm not that big in the LV lineup. I own 2 bottles and I own like 10 samples of Louis Vuitton. That's it. So I don't have insider knowledge. This is as much as I can give you a very blurry picture that I saw on Facebook, and I cropped it and I put it in here. It's passing through. What's going on, Kenny? What's going on? Senna de Vetiver Fatale. It's a good one. That's funny. That is fun. I just got that. Just seeing that, I'm like, huh? And I'm like, oh, that is actually pretty good. Starting my journey for my personal niche perfume collection. Appreciate that you provide. Amen. That's all it is. Enjoy it. Sample, but enjoy it, right? The one thing that I really enjoy about this, personally for me, that there's like never ending, is that not that I discover new notes anymore, but I really enjoyed the first part of my journey where I first discovered fig. I first discovered mint-based fragrances, and I was like, oh, wow. And then you start sniffing different resins and ambers and all that, and you're just like, whoa. But it's like never ending, because now personally where I'm at now, I like pinpoint like brands, and I pinpoint, noses, and I go, okay, like Monardo, right? I know, I've smelt most of her resume. Resume is huge. but I can be like, okay, Monardo did this in the 90s, and she did that and worked with this brand and that brand, and I kind of know their weaknesses and their strengths and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice. Like now in my journey, I'm just like I'm starting to sniff like a brand, and you see the nose attached to it, and all of that comes into mind. And I'm like, okay, what are they going to do? Are they going to do something different, or are they going to pull something from the past, right? Like Jean-Claude Delannoy, which is one of my favorite parfumiers of all time. I'd be like, oh, he did the same trick in Cartier that he's doing in Hermes and things like that. So it was kind of, the little, I guess, geeking out kind of thing going on. So it's always fun. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You ever come to Canada? And I'll tell you which part when you ever come to Canada. But if you're near Montreal, or you're near Toronto, Ottawa, places like that, I am definitely close. So yeah. Can I take a quick 20 minutes? I don't know if that's a troll or what. Yeah, I'm going to take, no. I don't think people want to hear about 20 minutes. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate that. Would you do a top 10 based on? I'm actually kind of working right now, and it takes a while for me to work on projects, but I'm working on several projects right now, different video ideas, different kind of, I want to reintroduce, I did a series, and this is like old, like Mark with no beard. I did a series on noses. And basically what I did is like, this is the nose, this is their history, right? This is where they went through, right? Different brands, maybe the schooling, things like that. And then I kind of pinpoint, which material they like to utilize and they're really good at. It's kind of like, let's go with Francis Kirkjian, right? Francis. I could go, okay, so what's his strength? Orange blossom, ambers, things like that. So, you go like that, and then you can kind of go, okay, so these are the best fragrances so it's kind of like geeking out kind of thing. I've wanted to do that. I've got some video ideas on notes, like actually delving into which materials, the different scents of those materials, right? Like vetiver doesn't just smell like vetiver. If you buy the vetiver from IFF, you will smell something different from one that actually Chanel has one. So it's kind of really geeking out. Like, I don't think there'll be popular videos, but it'd be nice to do that. Elena is the king of citruses. Elena is very good with citruses. And yes, he is absolutely amazing with cumin and lots of other spices. But he hides that thing real well. He in several fragrances, he's done that. So let's move on to the next one. We're going to take out the Like a Woman here, the Shania Twain. Where are we at here? Ooh, the next one. Yes, Montblanc. Now, Montblanc has this kind of like affordable privé line. They're not, super expensive, but this one's called Star Oud. I'm always interested in these privé, like these little privé lines that you don't hear from like some smaller brands. Like Hugo Boss has a privé line. Nobody really talks about them. Dolce & Gabbana has a privé line. Nobody's really Paco Rabanne has a privé line, if you didn't know. On and on and on. Montblanc is kind of like Dunhill having their privé line, right? Dunhill's privé lines, like kind of okay designer fragrances. This one is just the same thing. Star Oud. This one has cardamom, cinnamon, oud, amber, and sandalwood as the notes. So really interesting note breakdown on this one. I'm kind of a blurry. Again, I don't have a rep or any exclusive pictures of anything like this Montblanc related. So unfortunately, I can't really show you much more than that on that one. And our last new release. What is it going to be? This one's actually interesting, this new release. And again, blurry picture because I don't have a rep. This is Dusita. And I'm a big fan of Dusita. And this is Blue Danube X 7 cents, which is a collaboration effort. It is, look at this note breakdown: cardamom, dried fruits, clove, orris, benzoin, tobacco, sandalwood, amber, gaiac wood, vanilla absolute. It is exclusive to the website 7 cents, and it's limited edition to 500 bottles. You know, I'm just a frag kid that's geeking out on an exclusive that only has 500 bottles. But yeah, you know, Dusita is a brand that you look at the note breakdown and you're kind of like, this might be really, really good. So I would really recommend a lot of you, just to take a look at this, and maybe you can get a sample of it. I don't know what the price is on this. It was just announced. Obviously, if it's a limited edition to 500 bottles, it's probably not cheap. Knowing Dusita, but they're not, crazy. I've never seen a Dusita type fragrance being like over like $700. So you should be fine. But yeah, that one right there. Blurry picture though, but that's all I got. Do I own any Armani Privés? I own several. Actually, as much as I pan Armani's and their designer line, like their signature line, we call them, where it's all available, their Privé line is actually excellent. There's some really good fragrances. You can maybe see it. No, you can't. But my Armani lineup is right beside my Issey Miyake's. You can see Issey Miyake right here. You see Armani code. I think that's Profumo right there. And I think my Privés are like right there. The black bottle, the gold caps, and all that. But yeah, I own several of them. Really, really good lineup. Really good. What's the next thing I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. So let's remove this. Yes. And I wanted to kind of show you guys one thing. Where is it? I wanted to actually show a video. Let's see if I can actually post it on here. And I kind of wanted to see what your thoughts were.
Stealing.
It's violating
Rights. Of course, it's easy to say that a perfume formula can't be patented. So why can't we protect a fragrance recipe while you can protect the design of a handbag? It doesn't make any sense. If you are copied, it means you are relevant. So it means you exist. So I have to say there is a little bit of pride that fades very quickly. You steal the actual.
So this is, I don't know if I can. This is Francis, right? And he was on some sort of podcast. I should give them credit. My bad. On me. I'm sorry to the people that had this. But Francis was on this podcast and he was saying how duping is like stealing.
Duping is stealing.
It's violating
rights. Of course, it's easy to say that a perfume formula can't be patented. So why can't we protect a fragrance recipe while you can protect the design of a handbag?
And this is a huge Pokemon guy. Dwayne, did you open that pack, by the way? Yeah, you can't protect a recipe, but you can protect design of a handbag. I understand where he's coming from. I'm not a dupe guy. All of this that I own, zero clones. No, and there's nothing wrong with people doing what they do. But I'm like through and through a designer guy, niche, indie. Now, all these sections, right? Indie, niche, and designer. Are you going to have some duping? Yeah, of course. You got Aventus that was so popular, and then all these designer brands started duping it, right? Kind of, sort of. But definitely, Francis is like, this is probably Baccarat. This is, nothing really other than that would really irk Francis, I believe. I think BR 540 was the one that really irked him. But let's listen in again some more what he said.
It doesn't make any sense. If you are copied, it means you are relevant. So it means you exist. So I have to say there is a little bit of pride that fades very quickly. You steal the intellectual property of someone by wearing a copy.
Do you think the word like dupe is making light of basically stealing?
Those brands are very clever and they dupe the brand they copy.
I don't know, they're very clever, right? Like it's not like they're hiding it. A lot of these dupe brands, like let's say they're duping. I'm trying to find something on my desk here that's heavily duped. I don't own anything that's super. I'm looking for something super popular here, and I can't find anything. I'm sorry, but let's say these dupe brands, like they'll do their own Mir and Delir, and the bottle looks exactly the same, right? The name is like a play on of it. Oh, okay. The podcast is there. We go. Yeah, let's give them the props, right? So my bad, but thank you, Full Bottle Worthy. You're awesome on letting me know about that.
But the dupe also the consumer. You as a buyer of a dupe, you are dupe as well because you think you buy the exact same thing.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that last statement. I think the people that buy it know exactly what they're buying. It's not like they're getting duped in a way, like they're just like, this is the original. I don't think anybody's getting, maybe in the Chinese markets, things like that, maybe some people don't really know of the originals, something like that, maybe. But I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I can really explain this topic because I am making my own patent, and it's been in the patent house for 3 years, and that's a long time. I have a hard time feeling better. Including a very basic frag formula, which is so many clones are near. Yeah. So yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Right. You know, some of them you could tell that some, and I've said this in reviews from sometimes that I was just like, oh, like Parfum de Marly just came out with a new fragrance. I'm like, this is going to be easily duped. Like it smells cheap. It's going to be, you know, easily duped because there's not much to it. So I can understand that 100%. So yeah, I kind of wanted to share that with people because I saw that and I was just like, that's interesting. And yeah, kudos for him for speaking up. That's his own thoughts, of course. But yeah, that is definitely like a video or a live stream on its own in regards to how the designer market really is the pulse of the fragrance industry. I think not that they effed up, but I feel like the prices are jumping so high that it opens up a market for these dupes that they are selling as much as the designers and some more. Like you just look at what the TikTok shop here, Latafa, how much did they make? Where did I put in my notes there? 4 million in a month. And all they're using is influencer marketing, right? So a chunk of that 4.3 million is going to like Latafa paid like 10 or 12 influencers to come to Dubai and stuff like that on their dime. And then they pay them like, you know, I've heard some outrageous numbers of tens of thousands of dollars to sign a contract with Latafa to just push their products. And that's, you know, and that's where these, you know, people absolutely hate TikTokers. And I'm you know, I go after some of the big dogs here on YouTube, but the TikTokers even worse. They really, because there's such a young demographic that it's just young kids signing off on these contracts, and Jeremy Fragrance. So it's like this 40-year-old guy, like imagine me with a whole bunch of teenagers at a fragrance, like on a yacht and kind of, I don't know. I couldn't see him, but that is definitely, you know, a lot of people talking. But I blame the designer brands. You know, Lamar fragrance in Canada. I remember when I first started on YouTube, we'll just go with that price point. So that was 2009, 2010. I could get a big Lamar bottle for $100 Canadian. So my American friends could get one probably at discounters for like $80, $75. And that's where the market was for designers, right? You had your bargain bins, right? Your Laliques, your Montblancs, your Lacoste, your Calvin Klein, your Tommy Hilfigers, all these bottom of the barrel kind of designer brands. they would, and then of course, older fragrances that don't sell well, your bargain bin of $10, $20, $30, $40, they would all fall into that criteria, right? A brand new Calvin Klein fragrance would come in retail $90, but at discounters, it would start at $50. And then it would trickle down to mostly where Calvin Klein was back then. It was like $20 to $30 in a bargain bin. So that held up. Like there's no point of having clones if that was there. And then at $50, that's where some of the bigger names, like the second tier fragrance designer brands. So I'm saying like some that are a little more popular. Hugo Boss, you could find those, right? The Boss bottles, the new ones, they'd be $50-$60 at their lowest. You could be looking at Paco Rabanne. You'd be looking like Christian Dior wouldn't hit that, Dior, Chanel, Hermes, right? Armani. Those are the quote unquote more expensive designer brands, but at least they had that cushion that you could find an Hermes fragrance for $70, $80, $90, $100 at discounters. So, right, the whole spectrum was basically saturated with designer brands. What's happening now is they're still the bargain bin brands, $20, $30, $40, but now we're the $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100 designer oversaturation, right? There's tons of them. Issey Miyake's, right? Where their Cartiers were in there. That's gone. There's a big gap now. So a brand new release from, let's say, Jean-Paul Gaultier Lamar, right? Elixir, it's $200 Canadian. Holy crap. Where it used to be like $120, $110 for like a big bottle. Then the smaller bottle would be like $75. So somebody had to kind of grasp that whole area and get those sales, and that's where these brands come in. So you need to kind of blame the designer brands, but you can't really. Then you go to the consumer, like we are the ones that are buying this stuff at this price. So what can you do? And that's why these niche brands, when I hear a fragrance reviewer going, Tom Ford private blends too expensive, blah blah blah. Where do you want them to go? They used to be $250. Right? They're going to be $1,000. It's going to happen. So unfortunately, that's the way it's going to happen. So moving on to the duping video, we've already went for an hour and we got 150 people in here. First of all, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much love to all of you out there that support me. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. She's free. And you're going to get somebody. And again, I'm not, the most entertaining. I'm not the most technically advanced, but I put hard work in. And I try my best to give you the best product as you can on my channel. And subscribe, hit that like. Really appreciate it. Check out the Discord. Check out my Facebook group, my Instagram. I post pictures on there all the time. Yeah. What are you doing up? Go to bed. I own a lot of hats, Chad. I felt like in a black and red mood today. So we're going with the Red Sox. I do have 2 Blue Jays hats. Actually, I got really nice ones. One day I'll wear them. But thanks, man. I really appreciate it. So I wanted to move on. Let's see. Where is she? Where is it? I think it's this. Is it that? Yes, it is. Okay. So I always want to do on live streams kind of because there's so much stuff to discover. I just wanted to kind of talk about 5 fragrances that I feel have been forgotten. That maybe we haven't heard about in a while. Kind of like a forgotten gems. And I did that on my last live. My last live was awesome. The Easter one, definitely go check it out. We did the exact same thing. I did. Obviously, I had a guest at that time. So 5 fragrances that I feel are kind of, I wouldn't say underrated, just not talked about. And some of the best, like I just go random in my collection, right? I got 4,000 bottles here. And some that I've talked, I reviewed maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago. They're not brand new releases, but I did want to talk about this one right here. So I'm going to show some bottles. And maybe I haven't smelt these in a while. So let's kind of delve into it. It's a fragrance stream, isn't it? And then after that, we're going to talk about spring and summer ones because I haven't done a list. So we kind of have to talk about fragrances. So here's my bottle of what they call the Face, Andy Warhol. Bottle is going to be on eBay tomorrow for $5,000 because that's how much they go for. I haven't worn this as my scent of the day in a while, but we are going to put it on strip here and kind of these Bond number 9 atomizers. They're poop. They're poop. Oh yeah, plum. So that is the main theme here. They're saying here on Parfumo, sweet, fruity, oriental, spicy, woody, floral. Definitely plum. You are getting a lot of those darker notes there. Labdanum, Nagamartha, oud, Nagamartha, same thing, cypriol oil, vanilla. It's really good. It really is good. I really like this one. Very rare. How much did I pay for this? I think it was like 3 or 4. It wasn't too expensive. But yeah, this is really good. I don't talk much about that one. I'm not a big Bond number 9 kind of guy, but this one right here, it's actually surprising. I should wear this. This would actually be good right now. You bought Platinum Egoist, can't First Creeds because of your video back in the day. Oh, and First Creeds, I guess, because of your videos. Okay. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bond number 9's pop art set. Yeah. It's funny because Bond number 9's more popular releases in the community, I'm not talking about top sellers, are collaborative sets. Andy Warhol, Silver Factory is also, thing of legends, among others. I love New York collaboration. A lot of those scents are really popular. So it's kind of funny to see the brand that a lot of it was based off Creed, because she used to work for Creed as the American distributor, I believe. So you could see a lot of influence there. Do I like this more than Bleecker Street? Absolutely, 100%. I wasn't a fan of Bleecker. I haven't worn Bleecker in a long, long time, actually. I should probably bring it out in one of these lives. I don't know if I have. It's nothing I've been thinking. I've never sold one of my bottles. I've just recently sold an Aventus bottle, but that was my brother's, to somebody on Facebook. I got a pretty penny for it. Apparently, I saw I had to go to an expert, Aventus expert, and apparently it was the 2015 batch code, which is super crazy. But I don't know what's going to happen with the collection. At some point, you're going to have to. Personally, I could go with a small collection or a big collection. And honestly, the funny thing is stuff like this would be sold. I would keep the ones. And again, fragrances, personally for me, is more about, fragrances that speak to me. So, as funny as this sounds, I would keep my bottle of them all. I would keep bottles of Jubilation 25, even though that has some monetary asset to it that I could sell it for a good amount of money. But it's the ones that I have a personal collection or a personal touch with, which are the important ones that I would keep in a smaller collection. I would actually sell off the prized possessions in my collection because they don't have any real meaning to me. This will fetch me a lot of money, and I'd be glad to part with it. I would keep something like Lamar with me than that. So yeah. Let's move on to the next one. to the next one, and which was Tom Ford. Tom Ford. Let's get the bottle out first. So this is definitely a darker scent than the face. Oud Wood Intense. And I got the mega big bottle, the 100 ml one back in the day. I got this and Tobacco Oud Intense back to back. And wasn't the same seller though. But it was, this is beautiful. It has a real leathery, and it even says it right there. Even though there's no breakdown here, cypress, oud, and angelica root. This is beautiful. Exactly what the main accords, like it's woody, obviously. The typical oud wood. It's got a leathery touch. Yeah, this is actually really beautiful. Hey, Janet, how's it going? Alberta's in the house. Absolutely. Janet, we still have snow here in our section. I don't know if you still have snow on the ground, but we had some rain in the past couple of days. And I thought the snow was going to go, but it was too cold. So the rain wasn't warm enough to melt the ice or the snow. So we still have snow. But yeah, this is, I haven't worn this season, but it's awesome. I think actually Oud Wood is much more wearable than this. Much more like I look at the Tom Ford, like the big ones, like the Tuscan Leather, the Oud Wood, Tobacco Vanille, like as the big ones, we'll say like the popular ones. I feel like those three are more utility fragrances that I could just wear as like a signature. I don't have to think. Like this one has a little more growl to it, and I like that. What? What? God damn. Yeah, I guess that's probably our rate. Because we got a lot of rate. It is amazing. It's great. And I'm happy I got it after discontinuation. So I'm happy that I got it. Vancouver's in the house. Performance issues. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the third one. What's going to be the third one? Where are we going? Where are you taking me? Oh, I got to move it, apparently. Okay. I got too much on the go. Well, I haven't bought the stream. I'm using the free StreamYard because I haven't been doing any lives, so there's no reason for me to pay like a subscription. So they kind of just say, hey, you have too many pictures, but I kind of like to have the pictures beside me so I could talk about it. And that is the wrong picture. Unless we're going to be talking about the same thing. So that was, bear with me. Bear with me. There it is. Designer. We'll talk about Van Groovy. Red Sox. Yeah. Just passing through. Has anybody smelled Tom Ford Cherry before? I like to know. Well, Tom Ford has several cherries. Which one are you talking about? I'm assuming you're talking about Lost Cherry, which is the most popular, but they do have Electric Cherry now, and they have Cherry Smoke. So they have other cherries. However, Lost Cherry is excellent. Electric Cherry, I would say avoid. It's probably the worst one out of the three. And Cherry Smoke was a disappointment because I wanted more oomph. So the original Lost Cherry is the one that has more personality. I like that one. So Magnetism for men from Escada, when Escada had a men's line. Ooh, you could almost see the juice. The Dr. Pepper, the fragrance game, right? Discontinued? It's been a long time. Oh, yeah. The grape. No, it's grape. A lot of grape in here. Ooh, not Dr. Pepper. That ain't cherry. That's grape. Oh, yeah. Oh, Janet, you got Muscat Vajard. Good job. Is that your first bottle? That is one of the best from Mo. This is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it is spicy. It's sweet. The grape drank of the fragrance game, like that color of the bottle. You know, the face and this kind of go in the same kind of realm. But yeah, this is good. Maddie, what's going on, buddy? Love that one. Yeah, it's great. Have you sniffed any Tomas de Monaco? I have not. Monaco. Yeah, Lost Cherry. Very, very solid. At least on my end. It is good. This is so good. Moving on. Muscat Vajard is magic. Yes, it is. Magnetism. Moving on to the next one. Wait, I gotta get rid of some stuff, eh? I keep forgetting that I have this is the only thing that's a problem. I got the free service. I gotta get rid of some stuff. Where was I at? 14? Ooh, we're going Motel. Okay, we're going Motel. And this is one of my favorite Motels. And yeah, I bash the brand like crazy. They have some that are just like very solid, and they're kind of like hidden. Oud Cuir d'Arabie. I don't know why I'm showing the bottle. If you've seen a Motel, you've seen them all. She's barnyardy. So there's oud and leather, obviously. They say charred wood and tobacco. It's definitely leathery, but it's animalic. But it has that cheesy oud that you don't get from Motels, except for this one. Oh, it's really barnyardy. It's very, very good. And I think I have a video on this, like an old video on this thing, but oh, is this good? This is a really good one. Do I have a favorite fragrance house? You know, there's some that make fragrances, and I'm not saying that they can't miss, but there's some brands that have like really small collections or really hard collections to find, like Slumber House, where every time I smell one, I'm just like, oh, this is beautiful. There's so many good ones out of it. But there's houses that I own the most of, right? Tom Ford. But Tom Ford is, it really toes the line of artistic and wearable to me, where it keeps me interested in their fragrances. They're not the most, they have some that are very interesting and very kind of daring, like Noir and Anthracite is just like one prime example of that, where they really went crazy with their signature line. Sahara Noir is another good one from them. But like my top shelves that you see over here, right, this is Tom Ford, this is Guerlain. Like I have probably over 50 Guerlains or more up top, way more actually. This is like, you know, I don't have any of those things that, you know, lift up your bottles. It's like just rows upon rows of bottles in a cabinet. I really do need to get those rows so I can actually, you know, I forget some because they're all in the back. Hermes is one of my favorites. Dior has the upper line in that curio cabinet over here. Hermes is in there. Chanel's over there. So, you know, then you'll Amouage, Creed. I own a lot of those. So houses have their greats, their goods, and their bads. For me, like a favorite house, I guess it's the one that I've bought the most of, but sometimes I'm buying because, you know, it was my favorite house. But, sometimes like a brand like L'Artisan Parfumeur, which never gets talked about anymore, which we're going to talk about one shortly. It's great. What do you see for the future of designers as the prices keep hiking and more artisanal houses coming out? The bubble's going to burst on the designer fragrances. At least I think. I don't see pricing going nuts on designer fragrances. Like, and it's already nuts, but I'm like, I can't envision a designer fragrance being, $400. Like, I think what's going to happen here is there's going to be a cap where, I was, in the designer game, and the pricing just kind of had a lull point in the like mid 90s to 2012s where it was fine. It was staying stagnant, basically. I think we're going to see something like that again, where it wouldn't be super ridiculous if a Chanel fragrance, and I mean just signature line, would be 300. Dior, the big boys, Hermes, Goutal, those are the brands that I could see at that price point. Do I see like a Paco Rabanne, Jean-Paul Gaultier hitting? I just can't envision it right now. But if people are continuing to buy niche products and they're continuing to bring up those prices every year, people are still buying them. What's to stop it? Like, this is a product that is right. Something that we don't need to have. So they can price it as much as they want. Like, people buying Louis Vuitton purses for thousands of dollars, like, kind of crazy. And you kind of look at it and you're like, can fragrances hit that market? I really can't see a $10,000 fragrance as the norm, right? But I can definitely, I can really think that Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, Hermes, like all the big boys, Frederic Malle, some of these brands that are selling well at the price points that they are at now, they're just going continuously to update their price point until they are more exclusive. When you're seeing a bunch of kids with all their Louis Vuittons, Louis Vuitton, as much as they like the free press, they want to be exclusive. So seeing a lot of that, they are going to jump up the price more and more and more. I'd like to see more artisanal houses coming out. I feel like we lost that with niche. When I first started on YouTube, niche was niche. There was a lot of brands that we know now that are household names that were straight up niche, like Serge Lutens. That was a niche brand that was affordable. It was $75 for a bottle at a discounter. It was like, those 50 ml bottles, perfect. L'Artisan Parfumeur is another great example of like around $100. And then you had brands like, let's say, MFK when he first started. He had fragrances that were really unique, interesting. So they're going less artisanal because they were purchased. And you can kind of see it, like the artisanal brands, one by one, are getting bought out and being more designer, more mass appealing, I guess. You're seeing it with Amouage. It's going to continue to, sorry to say it, but it's going to continue to go in that trend with Amouage, that it's going to go, that their past is going to be gone. You're going to smell a Memoir Man, and then you're going to smell a brand new Amouage, and you're going to be like night and day. It's a very slow slope with them, which is nice to see that they're still kind of grasping to those roots. But eventually it's going to succumb to that. They have new ownership now, a minority stake, but they still have a brand that knows how to water down juice and kind of make it very designerish. And we're seeing that now with Creed. Creed got passed hands twice now. and their recent releases are more PDM like. So there's somebody in there that's making decisions that are saying, this is the way we want to go. So yeah. Well, that's the trick of the trade, right? If it works for one, it's going to work for all of them. So once they saw the price increase and just the word elixir in a bottle, they all jumped in. They went, if you are a brand, wouldn't you do the same thing? If you can, let's say your market price, your retail price of a designer fragrance bottle, let's say Hugo Boss is $120 on retail, and you slap on the word elixir to a bottle, the Boss Bottled, we'll say as an example, and you can sell it, and your cost's the same to make it, and it's $190 because you just put elixir on it. Wouldn't you do that? And what that means is if those can sell now these brands need to figure out, okay, we got our elixirs, but what are we going to do next? So now they want to make the whole line that way. We don't want to go backwards. So what's the next word that we can use to flanker up some of our best sellers at an inflated price point? So what's next? What's coming next after the elixirs? You know, you could put the parfum editions, right? It sounds more expensive. So you could do that. So it's kind of interesting to see. Yeah. Janet, you know, and again, it's, you know, you're a smart one, but there's a lot of people with a lot of money that, you know, that's what they do. You know, you want to make sure that you have all these logos on your shirt. Make sure that you have all these logos so you can tell everybody, look at me, look at me. So it is that kind of product that you, and that's what we're going to be in the fragrance game. It's going to start getting way too expensive for people like us. That, you know, sure, you know, getting $300, $400 fragrances for me is okay. But once you start doubling that to 800 to 900, there's less of them that I'm going to be buying. And I blind buy a lot, right? Like case in point, like I have a couple Guetalins up here. Where are they? Right here. Tonka Serapia and the vanilla one. I blind bought those. They're $700 Canadian retail. I'm not saying I paid that, but that's where we're at now. Now that's my blind buy, basically my threshold. At that point, you know, once they start getting to $1,000, I need to look at splits and stuff. For me personally, and that's my threshold. Your threshold might be different. I have my own internal budget. I keep to that. I don't want to get in credit card debt. I don't want to be struggling because of my fragrances. And this is not like, you know, it's not like I bought all this in like a month, right? This is all stuff that I bought last year mostly. And they've just been piling there because I haven't done videos on them. So yeah, so Oud Cuir d'Arabie, we got to move on. We're $140 in this video. And I haven't gotten to my spring. Creed used to be so good. Yeah. Ironic considering the bags with logo tattoos all over are always the entry. They are. But that's what it's good. Have enough perfume for about 3. Yeah, you and me both. Probably more than that for me. Unfortunately for me. So moving on to the next one, which is not a motel. Where was I at on that one? Number 15 here. So the next one that I have is L'Artisan Parfum. I haven't smelled this in a while. I was actually looking forward to smelling this one. Zonka. And what happened to this brand? Like, this is a brand that I feel bad. You know, I love this brand. Love them. So let's smell this one. This one's a Dish of Food release as well. Oh, yeah, this is beautiful. It's the the woody pieces in here. The incense, very soft, like Timbuktu like, but it has that. Remember when these were like, I don't know how much I picked this up for, but this brand used to be like the best bang for it. Like I remember, like I got a lot of these. I probably have like 3 dozen of these fragrances. That's Interparfums, and I got them all around under $200 for sure. This is beautiful. It's so soft, but it's got like leather. You know, it says it's got leathery, but it's very woody, leathery, smoky. Yeah. All these things. Beautiful iris through it too. It's a good one. So those are the 5 fragrances, and I kind of wanted to go through them in this video of fragrances that are forgotten gems. And I just pluck them at random. I go through my collection and just kind of pluck through and kind of talk about fragrances that a lot of people don't talk about anymore. And I also wanted to talk about spring ones. I haven't talked about spring or summer ones. So I pulled some out, and I kind of want to start like delving through these. And this is an Hermès release. And this one, Jardin Solennel, Monsieur Elena. And I put a pretty good dent into mine, right? Pretty good dent. This is a great Hermès, like a great one. The Jardin series, you know, almost like an afterthought of a series. And I don't mean that like my personal, but like if you're anybody in the fragrance, not in the fragrance game, but like just a random FMO, it's kind of like one of those lines that you'd kind of just, you could avoid. And just because there's not like, it's kind of, I don't know, just the way the bottles look, and it's a Jardin series and people aren't too excited about it. Jardin Solennel, obviously the most popular one. That Lotus is probably the best thing out of this thing. It's so beautiful. This is so nice. I love this. Spring is right around the corner. And if you had to ask me which brand is the most spring brand of all time, Hermès, 100%. Elena utilized florals, a lot in his fragrances, citruses, obviously, but he really, yeah, this is gorgeous. Like I can't. When they bury you, where will they throw all the perfume bottles? They're going to sell them. That's what they're going to do. Someone's going to get rich off my death. Which one is next on this one? We are another springtime scent. Another Hermès. Look at me go. Is Omnarguillet still available on the market? Yes. I didn't hear anything else. Hermès is notorious when they sometimes they have production issues with their fragrances, and they just put them sold out, and then everybody kind of goes crazy, and then they bring them back. Omnarguillet all the time. It took me a couple years, and I think like at least 6 visits to an Hermès boutique from various places in Europe and in New York. In 2011, I wanted to get it in New York, Omnarguillet, and I never did because they were sold out. I had to get Vetiver Tonka, and I got something else. And that's how it started. And then I got more and more and more. My Hermès Essence lineup was massive. I owned them all except for the one I wanted. I just kept buying every different one that they had. But yeah, this one right here, talking about spring and Hermès, Voyage d'Hermès. I have both this one and the Parfum edition, which is the black bottle. And this is probably, this is named aptly. This is perfect for wearing in an airplane, close quarters, on a bus, something like that. It's fresh, and like it's saying right here, Manicourt, it's fresh, citrus, woody, spicy, green. 100%. Cardamom's perfect in here. There's a tea-like green notes. There's some citruses, but it's so well, like it's what's great about it is the build. And it's so pleasant. Like it's no one's gonna hate you wearing this fragrance. The only knock on it, I guess, would be kind of boring. But it doesn't smell like everything out there. And that's the great thing about this is that it is that good. It is a definite like Voyage d'Armand is perfect travel buddy. Perfect in a plane, a bus, whatever, a train. I'm not gay. I'm a PDM hater. People will say that. They are definitely not identical. They are not. The one thing I could say is that if you're in fragrances for the artistic side of things, that you're really kind of built like me. If you're built like me, absolutely not even freaking close. But some people, like I said, like some people are in this journey different. They may not smell the small nuances. They might not smell fragrances that smell a little higher quality or better quality or better built by a master parfumier. Some people don't care about that. And those, they're perfectly fine. Not everybody, it's not like I'm trying to force people to be like me. If we're all the same, it'd be kind of boring. But yeah, Wajon, as far as quality goes, it's a huge dip. They're not identical. But if you like that idea, you don't really care, but you're still paying enough for Wajon. Like at that point, like you just want to get a dupe, like something that's even cheaper. That's my thought. But see, Janet's got my back here. I go with the Hermes hands in, and me too. It is one of my favorites of all time. It actually, I hate doing this, but it is one, if not my most compliment of all time. Yeah, this is good. This is a good one. All right. So we got 3 more for spring and summer. And yeah, we're getting close to 2 hours. So I don't want to have this stream go too long. So we're just going to hit up that topic. Let's see. We are down to 17. So we got 18, 19, and 20. So 18, let's open that up. Ooh, ELDO. Great brand. Great brand. I am trash too. This fragrance, I'm on my 2nd bottle. And I just recently owned this. Like, this is not old. I think I've had this in my collection for like maybe 3 years. This was one of my favorites when I first discovered it. I wore this like a signature for a while. That is rare for me. And it's a fresh scent, which is, it's a fruity scent. This thing, and they make it like I Am Trash. That's the name of the fragrance. And they use it because they're using it from like recycled products, perfume products that nobody wants. Okay. Right. Corny marketing. ELDO is a great brand. When looking at this note breakdown, I'm looking at it right now. Look at this, right? And you're just like, meh, right? Like kind of, right? Even the thing is saying synthetic at the bottom there. Fruity, fresh, sweet, floral, woody, synthetic. And you're just like, meh. Okay. And ELDO is one of like, this would make, I'm a big Italian guy. I own maybe 10 or 15 of these, of this brand. This would easily be top 5, maybe top 3 in there. Okay. So yeah, the apple, strawberry, orange combo. I haven't smelt anything quite like this. So if you're looking for a fruity fragrance for summer and spring, even fall, hell, even winter, this is so good. So good. Like it's probably, if I had a top 5 fruity fragrances of all time, I'm not a fruity fragrance type of guy, but this would be up there. This is really, really good. It has like that. It's got the strawberry, and it's got kind of like that green apple kind of sourness to it. It really is beautiful, a beautiful, beautiful scent. Moving on to the next one. So we are getting close. Our last two, I think they're both fig-based fragrances. Ooh, here's a brand that nobody talks about. What's up, Chase? Thanks. Yeah, no problem. That is a great question. Is there any note that you feel has never been done to my liking? I'd have to get back. You know, I'm trying to think. Watermelon. There's a lot of fruity notes that I would like more emphasis on, and I know it's really hard. Like a lot of perfumiers have to mix and match and kind of make like different materials to make a scent profile. A lot of them fruity, but like all the big ones, tobaccos, amber, incense, castoreum, civet, all the things that I love and enjoy. I have several options at my disposal. And yeah, I can't think of, I guess that's why they're my favorite notes, or materials, right? Yeah. My team's still in it. So I'm gonna watch my Habs. So I know that Toronto is playing right now versus Ottawa. Actually, I should take a look. Let's go on NHL.com. Let's take a look. Let's see what they're saying here. There they are. Toronto won in overtime. So Toronto is beating Ottawa. Series is 2-0. So yeah, I'm watching. My Habs are playing tomorrow against Washington. So we'll see. Okay, Vervian. We got to talk about Vervian Figuier, a fig-based fragrance that probably you've never heard of. However, if you're a fig person like I am, look at the atomizer though. This is a niche brand. They've changed their bottles, granted. This is a early rendition of the bottle. Again, the atomizer. It looks like something from like Bath and Body Works or something, right? Oh, the fig leaf in here. Beautiful. She's so beautiful. Oh, and Vervian is in here as well. You got a little bit of, you got that green. You have a citrusy appeal. There's a citrusy appeal, even though there's none listed here. But it's fresh. It's woody. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I love this one. And again, one of those that's kind of like lost in the shuffle in my own collection as well. I blind bought that thing, I remember, just because I was on my fig kick. And yeah, that came out. Moving on to, I think it's the last one of the spring and summer. This one's a little more popular. I have my original Eau de Toilette, Philosopos, which is running low, actually. So I got my square bottle, Eau de Toilette. This is running low for me, especially with one of my favorites. This does make top 20. If I had a top 20 spring summer list, it's well decorated. Oh, man, this is beautiful. Yeah, one of the best in the game. So yeah, this one is absolutely gorgeous. Tobacco Honey is going to get a sampling samples at some point. I have a sample of it, and I have a bottle, which is right up there. So I can't point. Yeah, this is great though. Yeah. So that's the end of my spring lists. Just naming off 5 fragrances that I just wanted to name off. I did want to show this because I saw this and I forgot to show this in the news segment. Where is it? I gotta get rid of some stuff off the studio here. But wanted to show, I saw this, I stumbled upon this. Okay. I'm always like kind of like looking at this and I see these like marketing pieces and I kind of wanted to share with some of you because I kind of enjoy seeing like marketing pieces like this. Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Oh, careful. And they have their own bottles. Where are they? Where's that picture? There it is. Look at that. Who wants this? Who wants this? Is Spiritueuse du Devaney blind buy worthy? Not blind buy worthy. I'm not a fan of telling people that they're blind buy worthy. Absolutely 100% sample worthy. Absolutely 100%. If you're ever in a Guerlain boutique or anybody that sells Guerlain fragrances, it's one of the first ones that you have to smell. It is the best vanilla-based fragrance of all time. Of all time. And look, even Janet is saying it's the GOAT. It is definitely the GOAT. You know, we don't talk as often as we used to, but it's been a while actually. You're just reminding me that I have to. He wanted to do a comment, like, man, I think it's been a while. I gotta talk to Cody. You know, it's funny because it's funny, but it's not. You know, I grew up on this YouTube thing like I was in my early 20s, and it's funny, but it's not. But like I'd say the first 50 fragrance reviewers are on YouTube, and again, I was the one kind of like I saw them from start to finish. I've seen a lot of channels come and go, but I was always there. And it's funny, like the first 50 reviewers, I would say I'm still in contact with a good 80% of them. Like we are friends beyond fragrances. Guys like Al, guys like Tim Swetkoff, guys like Hero, you know, Drakdoc, yes, not as much. But it's kind of funny, like we had that bond, right? I'm like the outsider now. I'm the old guy on YouTube. And a lot of the new reviewers are like, you should retire. Well, I don't see it in that way. It's because I'm hurting their paycheck. And you know, I don't, you know, even the old heads, like the niche heads, like the you know, the snobby people, I don't relate to them at all. They're closer to people that, you know, I did this thumbnail tonight knowing that some people would be stalking this thing. And I made it a point to make it a fragrance stream. So people obviously in the whole chat were trying to, you know, poke me a little bit. And this is what I do, right? It's the game ain't checkers, it's chess. So right, so hopefully those people got some fragrance knowledge out of this. But yeah, I gotta talk back with Drakdoc. Cody's a great guy. Yeah, Mountain Dew. If you retire, we can win. You know, and I know a lot of people say, you know, a lot of the fragrance reviewers, you know, this guy should go because I'm hurting their pocket. I'm calling them out. I get the same emails that they get. They don't like that because I have proof. I'm not going to, say something just out of context. I'm not going to say something that makes no sense. I'm not going to make up things. Soy Boy, I got the exact same email. S Boy, Draco. I was in the same email, the same offer. So I'm not making things up. And those are things that kind of, it scares people a little bit. They're just like, well, this guy's got a point. And it's not like I'm a small channel that nobody's going to listen or hear. So look at this new trend, right? Everybody's got a toy. There's a Savage guy. You're the only girl I'm talking to. I promise. Nice hat. By the way, anybody that tuned in on thinking that there's going to be drama here, thanks for the views. Thanks for the comments. Much appreciated. Absolutely love it. I love it. You know what, Janet? I need to get that. I hear really good things on that one. Yep. That's when I'm never, if I ever move countries, whatever, it's time to sell. It's time to trim down. I will bring enough that can come with me personally. So if I ever move to Europe, I have a problem. I have to go. I will not trust just anybody with a good part of this collection. Joy speaks highly. Yeah, well, he's my friend. And I speak highly of him. Anybody ask me about, reviewers that I trust and I love and I feel have good intentions on this platform, I will push. Joy is one of those. He speaks from the heart, and it doesn't mean I like him or don't like him because we don't have the same taste or whatever, man. Like, it's not about that. It's about, good person and a good reviewer. He's good at what he does. He enjoys it. The passion's there. And he's doing great. Like, it's so beautiful to see that at least one guy out of a lot of the schmucks that I've met online in this platform, and a lot of them I've had numerous conversations with. He's one of those that I've never had a bad taste in my mouth that I was just like, this guy ain't right. He's great. I love it. As Boy lost 4 million and they're discontinuing that fragrance. Damn. Yeah, I saw that ever since, the gravy train got cut off once Curly stopped, because that was her big income, that she continued to push that because she was making the most money off this brand, right? You get $35 every bottle that you sell, minimum. That's what they offered me. You could have offered her something different. As far as I know, that was the bare minimum. And look at me, I'm a small channel compared to those, because these brands, what they look at? They look at your subscriber base and they look at your views, and what you can do for them. That's a lot of the brands. Like, I've been in these discussions, I've been in these emails. This is what they look at. Why do you think reviewers buy subscribers? The numbers, it's a selling feature. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. Like, I've spoken to a lot of these. Unfortunately, some of these guys have lost their contacts because I've spoken to some of these, because I'm really close with a lot of discounters and their owners. I know the owners. The owners know me for 10 plus years. They come to me sometimes. They say, like, actually 2 or 3 of the owners now, they come to me and they just go, is this person legit? And I'll be like, look, we'll have like a Zoom meeting, and I'll be like, look, This guy has over 500,000 subscribers. Looks good. Yeah. And there's another reviewer that every single video, it's a minimum of 20,000 views, minimum. And I show them and I'm like, look at my channel, right? My little mini channel, right? I reviewed the same fragrance that he did. Okay. Approximately the same time. Okay. This guy's got 20,000 views. I have 2,000 views. Good for me. If I hit 1,000, I'm happy. Hey, that's great. Great numbers. But then you look at the comment section. I have more comments than they have. I have almost double. He's got 20,000 views. I got 2,000. Something's not matching up, right? And that might be another side gig that I get just to vet. It's pretty easy when you look at it, though. no bug and ship the car. Yeah. Who mentioned soy boy? If you don't ever have to move, what is the plan for the collection? I'm going to enjoy it. My loved ones have a spreadsheet on the value of all of them. If I ever pass, they have, and I update the value of them as far as when I know things are getting discontinued and all that. And I have up to 5 contacts right now on that Excel sheet of past reviewers or people I trust that my family can get in hold of, and give them a percentage to sell my collection. So somebody's going to have to put some work into dig out all the boxes, because all the boxes are in my attic there. And that's like thousands of boxes, but it's pretty easy to go through it. It's going to take a long time, but they would make some pretty good bank. I know the value of my collection right now, and I'm actually lowballing my collection in regards to value of them. I'm not maximizing it, and somebody will do well. Bud Light. We can't win. It's not win or lose, bro. But nobody made fun of Sauvage guy. The hell? It's, I think what the fragrance community needs is that really important word, community. And do I do a piss poor job of it? Yeah. I'm not, but like the bigger frag heads are the people that have the most subscribers. When was the last time they had anybody that was smaller than them on their channel? They're not community based. And that was one thing that when I was the top dog, I was really proud of, is that, encourage smaller people, right? And help them out. I didn't mind doing that at all. That's important. You gotta, the main goal was to build the community. The only way you build a community is to encourage people that are down, that are just like, oh, my subscriber base, like I've been stuck at 50. You know how many conversations I had with fragrance reviewers are just like, I'm about to quit. There's like no traction. I'll be like, hop on a live with me. I'll shout you out. Right. I'll get you the number of this guy, this fragrance reviewer, and you guys can collaborate and help out each other. Some guys didn't have any other cologne, and we had a box of cologne that was going through, and I was just like, I talked to a few guys that were in charge of that box, and I was like, let's throw it at this new guy, right? He needs some content. Those are things that any community, you would think one of these people with a big following would take the reins as a leader instead of like me. So it's kind of sad to see. There's a lot of me. But yeah, we're kind of missing that community part. And it's not about me, right? It's can't win without me. It's not about win or lose, but it's about, And I think you personally do a good job of helping out others. So I do see a lot of that. Okay, so I have 101 bottles. I shouldn't feel 101. That's a good number. But you know what, Janet? Like a big collection. Like I think I said this on the other live stream. I was just like, there's a good thing about this big collection is that when I have, I want to wear something, a certain something, I have it at my disposal. And it could be just like, I feel like wearing a Beltran de Chauffour fragrance. I have like so many. So I'm like, I feel like wearing some of his compositions, or I want like a very specific composition, right? Most of the things that I like, I have a bottle of. So there's never that feeling of, oh, I wish I had this bottle. I have them all. So it's kind of at that point now that I'm just like, a big collection is good for that. Right. And it's every little nuance. Like I might be tomorrow, I might want to smell like a vanilla. I want a vanilla. Maybe I want a vanilla with citrus. Okay. Then I go Creed. There's a vanilla soft citrus. I want high class. Sometimes maybe I just want a simple vanilla that's designer. I'll go Lamar. If I want one of the best in the game, speak to Super Vanille. So, that's what's great with a big collection is that you got all the flavors, right? With any collector, right? Cigars, right? Or music, or if you have it all, it's awesome to have. But at the same time, the downfall with that is that it's hard to have new kind of favorites, right? Because, and again, the YouTube channel kind of hurts me in that manner as well, because I'm always discovering. I'm always doing sampling samples. I'm always doing unboxings. Well, I actually wear my fragrances. So unfortunately, when I'm working on the channel, right, I really limit myself of enjoying what I have that's not being reviewed, quote unquote. Like just this morning, I wore, because I want to do a video. I want to do unboxing before I went to work. So I unboxed, what did I unbox? Oh, Eden Rock. So that video is coming up on my channel, Ziad. So I wore that. So that was my scent in the morning. Then I had a shower midday. And then before I came on here, I did a video on Kirky. So I was wearing Kirky. And then tonight I'm wearing something more personal for myself. So I'm wearing Mirin Delia from Guerlain. So yeah, but that like the Mirin Delia, like those type of wearings, usually at night, I'm wearing something to test. I like to kind of test out longevity sometimes at night to see if it's still there in the morning. It's a good way of testing it, but yeah. Just because Fragrance Apprentice wants to retire doesn't mean many others have to. Yeah, a lot of people came and gone, right? It's part of the gig. Right? This is a job for a lot of people. Good for them. Hobbyists, unfortunately, are going to go more often than the influencers. So that's unfortunate. That's the sad part. My favorite. I'm not a big drinker, but tonight I'm drinking this. Oh, it's in French. Clamato, pickled bean, Clamato Caesar. Just had it kicking around the house, and I've had it for, I think I bought that near Christmas time. I'm like, I got to get rid of this stuff. The summer kind of bring in some summer drinks, so I'm kind of getting rid of that. But I'm not a big drinker at all. Okay, we're gonna do maybe another 5 minutes, and then I'm done here. There's not much impressive that's coming out these days. Yeah. It's oversaturated. You gotta, unfortunately, you gotta continue to sample. And the way I do it, obviously with the YouTube channel, I'm still, sampling from really popular fragrances, because that was kind of my idea coming into 2025, was like, okay, people make digs at me and say Mark can't hit 1,000 views. All right, well, let's do what everybody else does. Let's look at 2025 releases. Let's see how many 1,000 view videos. And the proof's in the pudding. Like, people make fun of others, but without any facts, right? Your favorite fragrance reviewer, okay, they get 2,000-3,000 views because they're very, that's what it's their job. So are they going to be reviewing something like this in 2025? Absolutely not. No views. So they're not going to review it at all. There's no views. You're not going to get it. So it's not like I'm stupid and I don't know this fact. I'm a hobbyist. Right. So those digs make no sense to me, because I can review, like, Turkey here is going to get 1,000 views easy on my channel. Maybe 2, maybe 3,000, maybe 4 or 5. I reviewed the new Lamar. It got like 10,000 views. I still get views. It's not a problem. But that's not where I get my joy from. But it's nice to kind of change the channel a little bit and kind of delve into some of these new releases, kind of just see what 2025 is going to bring in the fragrance game. So I kind of try to mix it up a little bit. Caesars are pretty good. That's the kind of stuff that I like. The best place. Easy. If you want to make more money, eBay. If you want to sell fast, marketplace. So the thing I noticed with both, marketplace is full, and you go in these Facebook groups. So I don't know if you're in any, Janet, but you can go into these Canadian Facebook groups. I just had a Unicorn Aventus, like the 2015 Aventus. So the first thing I did when I got that bottle from my brother, he's like, sell this for me. I don't want it anymore. I'm like, all right. So I look it up and I'm like, I'm not a batch code guy. So I'm like, okay, so I got connects. So I'm like, who's the Aventus expert? And I'm like, okay, buddy. I'm talking to him and I'm like, this is what I got. He's like, you got the Holy Grail Aventus. I'm like, all right. So how much is it? And he's like, well, you could easily sell it for $1,500 US. I'm like, oh, geez, okay. I'm like, bro, you got the good stuff. So at that point, you can sell that on eBay and get probably close to that, if not that. Or if you want a quick sale, you go on these groups and you just sell it for a little less and people snatch it up. But they're fragrance heads, so they'll know the value. They won't pay an inflated price, if that makes sense, right? But on eBay, you can give that inflated price and get the max amount. But it may take a little more time. A video on Discord. I was wondering. Yeah, that could be interesting. I think Ramsey did a kind of thing like that as well. I did a small series. I think I started in the 60s. I think I did the 60s and 70s, and then I stopped. And I know Ramsey did a bunch too. But it would be interesting, actually. Oh yeah, smaller towns. Yeah. Like in my city, again, like a lot of the stuff that's in the States, right? I don't have availability. Like, I blind buy a lot. I sample a lot because I can't go in a shop. There's hardly any boutiques in Canada, right? Some of these brands only have 1 boutique or 2 boutiques, in the bigger cities, the Torontos, the Montreals, the Vancouvers. Other than that, right, you're going to have a hard time finding some of these privé lines and things like that. So the new Hermes, I don't know if they're talking about Paddock, but the new Tad as well. Yeah, eBay is for discontinued rare stuff. The only problem with that is that you're going to pay a lot, right? It's at its pinnacle of its price. So unfortunately, like usually I'm a patient guy, so I just wait on Facebook groups for someone to sell a partial, and you'll get a way better price. Yeah. Okay, we can take Sauvage guy out. Nobody even laughed at him. Unfortunately. Poor guy. All right. So that's it. I'm gonna call it a night. Drink's almost done. We had fun. It was a good live stream. But yeah, I kind of wanted, I'm going to keep this one up. Obviously, I'm going to put a new thumbnail. That was for the trolls. Yeah. So I really enjoyed kind of have like a live stream like this, and maybe we can do this a weekly thing. I don't know. I might think about it. Kind of giving out news that I know of, right? Stuff like Kendrick Lamar being Chanel. Being signed by Chanel, Chanel having a pop-up store at the Grove as news, Creed getting a new CEO, things that you don't see on YouTube at all because it's not click worthy. Even talk about new releases, like new releases, right? I talk about some newer releases, but things that are just fresh off the press, and kind of talk about like, things like forgotten gems, right? Fragrances that are in my collection that I'll revisit, maybe give you guys some ideas, and, maybe some season appropriate fragrances, maybe a topic, a guest, things like that. So yeah, I enjoy doing these live streams. They're fun. We obviously had a lot more trolling today, and that's because of the thumbnail. That's my own fault. But that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Yeah, thank you so much for everybody. And again, don't forget to check out the Discord if you haven't already. And again, merci beaucoup. Thank you for all your support. And yeah, so the next videos on my channel, I got to edit them. I'm not going to edit them tonight. It's already late as is. It's 11 o'clock. I might be able to edit the one unboxing. Maybe I'll get that out tomorrow. So tomorrow you're probably going to see Eden Rock by Ziad, the unboxing. If all goes well, we'll see how I feel right now. I don't have a big day at work tomorrow. Just got to go check out the managers and a few of them and kind of just pop around, but nothing much to do. And then I got a samples of Kirky that I need to edit as well. So those two are going to come towards the end of the week. Yeah, I clickbaited all your asses because it's fun. Yeah, and it is a fragrance channel. That's what we do. All right, so thanks again, and everybody that was here for me and my channel. Merci beaucoup. Much love to you, to all the trolls. Have a good night. Bye, guys.